Hello Self, Cosmos, Ohana. This is Soul Dr. Nick here, Magic Mirror Work, on Monday, December 1st, 2025. Looking at the sunrise here, right on the eastern coast. Hearing all the waves crashing around me. Just gathering in the sun. Loving it up. Just being really present with myself, with life, with the cosmos. Had an amazing Ohana breath yesterday. And I can notice myself going, there weren't enough people. And how do I create more? Wow, there's amazing waves crashing. There's so much immense power. Jumping in there is like instant death battered against the water and the rocks. Beautiful sunrise turning. It was a pinkish, now it's an orangish. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, yeah. Green, blue, indigo, violet. So right now it's orange to yellow right now. And received the Daylight computer yesterday, had Kofi and family over for a beautiful dinner yesterday, really neat, chatting about business, being able to see myself through them. The different fears, the different stories, the different ways that we look at children and how they're supposed to be, the different ideas of, do I want business, do I want entrepreneurship, do I want the golden handcuffs, do I want the job, do I want the parental leave, what is it that I really want? And how do I get lost in secondary measures, and how do I distract myself with simple fetch quests? And for myself, I recognize the number one thing I'm looking at always is my own health now, my own wealth now, my own family, freedom, flow, receiving. And it's been such a wonderful play these past 6 weeks, playing with those concepts, those ideas, playing with the idea of health, internal, external, mental, physical, spiritual, and they're not separate. Playing with wealth in all the different ways. It's not just the money in the bank account, it's not just the ideas. And it is, what is the one big idea that we know is going to move the needle and everything else? And actually step into that. What's the one big idea we know is going to move the needle and everything else, and actually stepping into that? And then family, wow. We went to the beach yesterday, and only for a couple hours. It was perfect. We saw our first sea turtle. I got my first snorkeling in. We got in the water. No one got really hurt. No one got really burnt. We're recalibrating. We're building up our solar palace. I can tell my health is shifting, and what's possible with the shifting health. I can tell myself preferring to be here longer, at least for the 3 weeks. We're not even at a week yet. We're almost at a week. Tomorrow's a week. And then we'll see. That's 1 week in. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Who are we going to invite? Start writing down the ideas. Secondarily. Oh, that was a big crash of a wave. Creating the opportunities, the homes, the environments that make it possible. We'll have to take a look at this. We don't know yet. We really don't know yet. Sharing a home, getting really cozy, getting really comfortable. That's a possibility. And then when they come back, getting a bigger place together. That's actually a really good idea. 3-step process. Have our own home till the 25th. Move into their home. And then shift. So those are possibilities. And that's the thing I'm trying to do, is keep finding more and more possibilities. And then for myself, for the breath, keep creating these videos. Keep creating what needs to be created so that we can actually promote, upload the recordings, Create the receipts that are there. Create that for Nicholas Strawn. Email Bob. Email Ancestral Wealth. Do more of the work and connect with the ancestors. Right now, being here, connect with the ancestors. Part of the talking and being of the discomfort, I can feel it in my gut right now. I can feel it in my gut right now. Feel it in my gut. Just play with that. Not right, not wrong. Cool. The sun is above the horizon now. Sunrise has officially started. The sky is more yellow. You can see the reflection off the clouds. You can see the rain barreling down in the distance. And it's fun just to witness it all. Witness life. To witness it all, to witness life. Have the opportunity to make this not just we're coming here for a sunrise to check it out once. This is just gonna be my regular thing. What if that's the case, eh? Taking out the shoes to ground into magnetic earth. The energy as it comes and as it goes. Building up the calluses in my feet as well, just like quote, walk, 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 quote. It's interesting reading The Name of the Wind and how much time he spent contemplating the different currencies, contemplating the languages, contemplating the world building, contemplating the pronunciation of words, contemplating how the backstory of things led to that. The whole idea of why is everyone speaking a common tongue, a common language, and what kind of history might he have to dream into existence for that to be part of the reality and not just a convenience. And how empire can really change in just a few generations, the language of the land and the way of the land and the way of being for people and the common tongue. And listening to these stories and the world building, you can see sometimes the simplicity that has been given to the village people and how we all have different stories. I do like that. It's like just because they call them Shamblemen, you call them Chandrian, you call them other demons, you call them other things. It's not distinct, but where am I prejudiced, stereotyping as well? Where am I simplifying things that don't or would benefit from not being so simplified? And part of it is in the healing work that I do. There's so much nuance, but in my head, often because one of the stories could be because I can't be an expert at all, because they could poke holes through it, I try to oversimplify it so that I don't have to deal with more questions. So I don't have to deal with more unknown, so I don't have to deal with more discomfort. And the more I can say these things out loud, the more I can notice what are the games that I'm playing, and I can either choose to keep playing them, because sometimes it's okay to keep playing them. I don't need to figure everything out. I don't need to have all the things sorted out, and each theme is helping me get more clear on that one topic. Freedom, the awareness of freedom. The awareness of the internal freedom, the awareness of the external freedom. And here recognizing that I have less freedom because I haven't filed everything I need to file in the 3D world, and how I think it's ridiculous in many ways, and how I also recognize that how do I play this game without being the game? How do I play this game without being the game? How do I play this game without being the game? Such an interesting concept. And we each have our own things, whether we don't change our last names, whether we don't declare certain things, whether we ignore certain parts of the rules. Wow, giant crab on the rocks down there amongst all the waves. And if that crab gets it just a little bit wrong in terms of when the wave's crashing, it's dead. And it's crazy. It's the size it is, meaning that it's lived for that long? What if we are more like these crustaceans shedding our shells? There's this tender period as we're growing as well. They're just helping us to see these things on the outside. Shedding our skins, wriggling out of things. And right now for me, being here is such a reminder. It's like, how do I eat more consciously, locally, recalibrate my entire body? How do I actually notice the energy of the sun? How do I let this in and become a living example of the sun and the energy there? Because being the example shifts my perception, and makes space for the shifting perceptions of the people around me. And that's important. And I can recognize that the work I'm doing is important. I know that. I'm being conscious of not just trying to do it more because I'm so important that it's there. And I'm also being conscious that I already have all the safety and security I need. It's just there's discomfort attached with some of it. And how do I create more comfort in a different way around it? How do I create more value? How do I create more of what I want? How do we support the people we love? What is the amount that we have there to truly support them? And what is it that actually does support? It's not just giving away money. It's not just forfeiting. It's not just devaluing. It's not charity. And the next theme is flow. What is the flow? The flow of the waves against the rock, the flow of the river, the air flow, the current flow, the pockets of cold water, the flow of blood through the vessels, and how much of this is the vortex, and how much of this is the enlivening of the water. The water hits, it enlivens, it aerates, it energizes, it stirs. And the water flowing down the river, it picks up, it drops off different things, it flows. And then the rivers that flow in with the tides and flow out with the tides, and the special fish that live there. And the flow of ideas, how often do I get caught myself, catch myself, block myself? And the flow of energy through a dam. And the menstrual flow. And the flow of electrons. But it's funny, this whole idea of electrons, also the fact that we can't actually see them, that they're only probability matrices. And the flow of oxygen, the flow of sap, the flow of coconuts, the flow of life force, the flow of prana. And then the cosmic flow, the flow of energy through the vastness of space. We used to say it's just empty space. It's just so minuscule that we don't recognize it. It's more of an electrical thing. Even the flow through the sun, like what is this whole idea of the sun? Is it truly burning? Is it plasma? Is it quantum? Is it fusion? Is it fission? And all those descriptive terms are based on the science that we already know. And then last night I read about the Bible code and the Torah through Bob Frizell, and just the idea of it all. This script that was written possibly by the Hebrews who are from the future, who had to go past to recalibrate, and this actually contains all the Akashic records. And how is it that words that we have now, and the language that we have now, and the names that we have now can be delineated from the Torah? And how is it used as a tool of prophecy, as prediction, of remembrance, of reminding? And how is this even possible, space and time? And how are we practicing using these impossible things to see possibility? Again, it's the same thing as grandmother coming down and saying, you've got 2 years. Like there's been these clues, either everything's a coincidence or nothing's a coincidence. And so allowing for some of this to come through. Allowing for all of this to come through. Interesting about the Bible code. And then I can talk soon about the reviews of different things. I can talk soon about the to-do list. I can talk soon about the affirmations. I always have a choice. I feel to heal. Everything's a story. The only constant is change. Today is going to be a wunderbar day. Paradox and dichotomy. Trust is the currency. The bravest thing I said is help. The school of unlearning. I want to look at the visions, the visionaries. I want to look at the games and the rules of the game. I could even make one of the breath works, for those who can understand, Calvin Ball. Right? Calvin Ball. But most people won't get it. The people that do, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Referencing Calvin Ball. So there's so many themes. Oh, and I want to reply to my dear friend Vedran, who's asking about Lasix, who's asking about something else as well. Let's follow up on that. Let's follow up on that. Let's follow up on that. Let's take a look at Dr. Cruz and what he's saying. Let's take a look at what's possible, what's there. Let's reach out. Let's recalibrate. Let's rewrite. Let's rejournal. What are my goals? What are my goals over the next 90 days? What are my goals over the next 90 days? Home, family, wealth, belonging, founding, cleaning up, who do we want to invite? Courtney? Others? Let's write them down. Let's write them all down and see how it goes. Forgot to bring the stylus, and that's okay. Seeing the clouds or the sun peak above the first layer of clouds. All right, I think this is enough of the magic mirror work for today. Ciao for now.